Good morning, it's Tuesday, January 12th, and this is Slices of Wenatchee. We're excited to bring you a closer look at one of our top stories and other announcements every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Today, we're focused on the U.S. Capitol insurrection and how local officers, teachers, and law enforcement have responded. Today's episode is brought to you by Equilus Group Incorporated. Equilus Group Incorporated is a registered investment advisory firm in the states of Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. Equilus Group Incorporated, building your financial success. Learn more at equilusfinancial.com, member SIPC and FINRA. Also, as the pandemic, civil unrest, and dark winter days continue into the new year, Wenatchee Valley residents are reporting more feelings of anxiety, sadness, isolation, and discouragement. That's why we at the Wenatchee World and NABUR have organized a free interactive mental health panel. Join us on Thursday, January 21st from 6 to 8 p.m. and make sure to RSVP at wwrld.us/mentalhealthpanel. Now our feature story. Last week, supporters of President Donald Trump gathered outside the Capitol building to protest as Congress took up the confirmation of Joe Biden as the next president. The demonstration spilled into the Capitol and devolved into a riot. 4 people died during the chaos. Here are some of the reactions from Wenatchee residents.
I thought it was one of the worst days in American history. We just couldn't believe it. We felt like we were in a, third world country or something. It just was. And then when I saw him entering the Capitol building itself, I just couldn't believe it. I mean, I thought that statuary hall, I said, I hope somebody doesn't have a sledgehammer where they're going to try to break all those statues. I just was appalled, just completely appalled.
Well, I'm just glad that it's done. I mean, there was nothing anybody could do about the certification of the Electoral College. That's written in law. That had to happen. The next thing they need to do is arrest Trump for inciting a riot. It's the same thing with BLM and Antifa ones. When they got out of hand and they started burning things and tipping over cars and stuff, that's no longer protest, that's a riot.
Yeah, I just feel like those people have been misled for the last 4 years, and there's just so many, different sides to things, and I think the last 4 years people have been getting farther and farther apart when they should be coming together.
I thought we'd have some sort of potential problems, but nothing like that.
Nothing like that?
Nothing like that, and I'm glad it's over and it's done. I'm glad that the Congress people moved ahead and finished and not call it a night.
Wednesday's polarizing events will be looked at and studied by college students and historians for decades. It was a moment unlike any other in our nation's history. But if you're a high school history teacher, how do you talk about the event with students? As a rule of thumb, teachers aren't supposed to, and largely don't, express their personal opinions about political matters with students. It's a faux pas that can lead to a phone call from an angry parent and a dressing down from an administrator. As rioters scaled walls, overran Capitol Police, stormed Congress, smashed windows, and planted explosives, it was lunchtime at Wenatchee High School. The social studies teachers watched everything unfold. Emily Wilson, a fifth-year world history and leadership teacher, told us that it's super hard to even talk about what's going on, but her approach was to let students take the lead in the discussions. She said some students understood the significance of what was going on and wanted to talk for nearly an hour, while others felt exhausted and just wanted to get on with class. Brandon Harrell, who teaches current world problems at Wenatchee, said he recognizes his role is to be someone that facilitates information. He tries to provide facts that can add some sense to the issues, not to offer his opinions. Harrell said this was his 5th presidential election he's gone through as a social studies teacher, and the 2020 election, with all its bluster and misinformation, has been the most difficult to cover. Local elected officials struck a note of optimism after the insurrection, even while expressing horror at the event itself. Wenatchee Mayor Frank Kuntz said it was disturbing to watch the day's events on TV, but he had faith that things would return to normal. He said that in a lot of ways it felt no different than 9/11, when we were attacked and the next day we were back in business again. Kuntz said he doesn't expect it to be easy to resolve the divide going forward, but that the U.S. will manage. Chelan County Commissioner Bob Bugert said that he was also deeply disturbed by the incident. In his eyes, the nation's sacred trust had been violated by President Donald Trump inciting these acts of violence. He also noted that local protests against the certification of President-elect Joe Biden have been peaceful, and that he supports their right to protest even if he disagrees with their message. Finally, Chelan County Sheriff Brian Burnett said the riot has brought trepidation. He said that we closed out 2020 hoping for better times. What is 2021 going to bring us? Uncertainty. It puts fear in people's minds, and I think that's what's bad. Burnett, a Republican elected in 2010, believes most who attended the rally were likely there with the intent to assemble peacefully. When asked where the line is between peaceful protest and riot, he said it essentially begins when laws are broken. To Burnett, it's clear the demonstration became a riot. And that riot, in the epicenter of American democracy, has sent shockwaves to the public and law enforcement. Next, a winning lotto ticket worth $1.7 million and purchased in East Wenatchee was claimed on Monday, just a week before it would have expired. The ticket was sold on July 15th at Fred Meyer, and its buyer, as with all winners, was given 180 days to claim his or her prize. A spokesman for the lottery said it's not often a 7-figure winner goes unclaimed for so long. Finally, some local history. Wenatchee Valley History is brought to you by NABUR, your trusted neighborhood community. NABUR is a free online forum you can trust to connect with your community, focus on facts, and make a difference. Join the conversation. Visit wenatcheeworld.com/NABUR. The Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center was founded in 1939 by the Columbia River Archaeological Society. It's home to the propeller from Miss Veedle, the airplane that made the first non-stop trans-Pacific flight. Thanks for listening. We'd also like to thank our sponsor again, Equilus Group Incorporated, a registered investment advisory firm in the states of Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. The Wenatchee World has been engaging, informing, and inspiring North Central Washington communities since 1905. We encourage you to subscribe today to keep your heart and mind connected to what matters most in North Central Washington. Thank you for starting your morning with us, and don't forget to tune in again on Thursday.